Hi, I'm Sarah Moore and this is How I Live with Style. I've got Bramble and Margot, my labradors, here to help me today. This is our main living space. It's an old threshing barn that we converted 10 years ago. You can stay down. And it is a place that is the heart of our home. It's a great entertaining space, it's really versatile, and it's got these stable partitions, which were an eBay find. They were £15 each, and what makes them really useful is that they're hinged, so they can be pushed back when you want to have a big party or a big table down the middle. The last one was my daughter's 18th birthday, and it was a massive affair. We had a vodka lusion, a tent, and a really lovely group of 120 18-year-olds who stayed up all night. And 80 of them stayed the night. We love a party so much, we've actually got a disco ball in here as well. We have lived here for just over 10 years now. It's still a work in progress, but it has come a long way since we first arrived. Originally, there were a pair of farm workers' cottages that had been extended and a range of outbuildings, two of which we've converted. So this is the old threshing barn, and then there's a dairy and a link that joins them all together. It's home to me and my husband Pete, and our three children, Libby, Harry and Edward, and there's lots of animals here as well. The history of this house is literally written on the wall. There are some engravings on the old chalk stones here, and they're made by all the farm workers who used to come and harvest the corn here. So there's one here from the 1930s, ranges up to the 70s, and what is really strange is all the names on the wall are men. There are no women who've carved their names, so I've got to add my name to the wall to balance it up a bit. I look around the room and I noticed that there are so many animals in it. I've done it inadvertently. I haven't even thought about the fact that all the pictures here are animals. I just find them comforting and warming to have around. So I've got a little collection. I've got sheep, I've got a pig picture, I've got an essential concrete penguin, everybody needs one of those, and a lovely elephant that came from a barn sale near here. I've not only got animal statues, there are some real life animals here. Come and meet Lamborghini, our orphan, who is enormous. My daughter Libby brought a tiny lamb back to the house we were staying in on a farm while we were renovating the house here, and he came to live with us, and he stayed in the house with Bramble, the Labrador, and he's now been released back into the wild and has some lamb friends to join him. And he's now 7 years old and he still loves a rice cake. And if there's thunder and lightning, he rushes straight to the house to come and find me because he's really scared of all that kind of stuff. But he's part of our family. Last one. There you go. All right, Biggie. This is our kitchen, and it used to be a dairy when it was a working farm, and it was one of the first buildings that we wanted to convert because it's such a great space. It's got lovely high ceilings, which makes it feel open and airy in comparison to the way it was before, which had beams all the way across it. I've actually managed to make the kitchen units movable, so they've got the little theatre prop wheels on the bottom of them, which are really useful because it means this space can be completely converted. If we're having friends over and we want a long table down the middle, that gets pushed to the side. If we're sitting around it as a family, it's where we eat. One of the things I'm really pleased about is the reuse of an old snooker table for the worktops. So the large-scale snooker tables all have a slate base to make sure that they are perfectly smooth, and underneath the bays you find these beautiful chunks of slate. I've repurposed them here as worktops, but they make great hearths or tables as well. So they're a good, cheap way of getting a quite luxury look into a country property. My favourite thing in this room is the artwork. My 19-year-old daughter Libby did some fantastic work for her art A-levels, and some of that is on the walls here. And my son Edward produced his pelican when he was about 6, which we have had enlarged and blown up to be artwork. Both things bring me real joy when I come in here. This is actually the only new bit of building that we've got here, which is a link that joins the old house to the dairy, and the lovely Sussex walls are still in evidence, and we brought them inside instead of outside. So flint is vernacular to here, and I love the look of them. I think they're like a work of art. It was actually quite a difficult process to get this building through planning. The parish council wanted to have a much more traditional building than the one we were suggesting. It was actually such a process, and I spent such a long time interacting with the parish council that I have actually joined them. We're really lucky to have this space, which is actually the two old sitting rooms of the original cottages joined together, and we now have it as a playroom, and it's lovely to have extra space where you can come and play pool or listen to music while other people are still talking and enjoying food. And it's also got a utility room and the place where the dogs sleep off it as well. So you've probably noticed the plates. I love a bit of china. I inherited some of the green majolica plates from my grandparents, and I've built up a collection of other plates ever since because they just bring me joy. This is the old kitchen of the original house, and it is a real luxury that we have kitchen and dining at each end. We have two tables the same to make this into a dining space for 24 if we need it, and there's a bit of drama about coming down here and finding it all set up and ready to go. And there's an independent kitchen as well, so each end of the house operates independently, and that's helpful because there is a chance that we may B&B this place, so it's always been set up as two dwellings. One of my favourite plates in this room is actually the really pretty one up here on the right. I went to a village fete and there was one of those stalls where you had to pay £1 to take a ball and smash some plates. So I rescued that plate, and the thought that somebody might have smashed it just a minute after if I hadn't got there makes me relieved every time I see it. The upper kitchen has huge concrete style plain white tiles, and this kitchen area has old-fashioned bricks. These came out of an old house. They're pre-worn and they're soft and they add a little bit of texture. And out of the two, if you live in the countryside and you have animals and teenage children and people coming in and out of the house, these are by far the most relaxing kind of thing to have on the floor. The other ones are constantly being cleaned. These ones, they get brushed up at Christmas and they look fabulous all year. The bedrooms in the old farmhouse used to have really low ceilings and they used to feel quite pushed down and oppressive, and what we did was open them up to the eaves, and it's a really great way of adding airiness and more space to the rooms. Many lofts you can actually go up into the structure of them even if you have some exposed beams left. You do have to get planning permission for it and you do have to check if you've got bats, but once you've been through the rigmarole it's well worth it. I'm not a big fan of curtains, so in this room I've had some shutters made. They're really simple, they're just strips of ash that have been woven and framed, and rather than having curtains that restrict the amount of light that comes in or are too fussy because of the sloping roofs, these are a really workable solution, and I love the fact that they match the wood of the floor. One of my favourite items of furniture is in this room. It's a chair that my mother gave to me that she had since the 1960s, and it's a beautiful Sussex armchair, and the fact we live in Sussex, she said we've got to have it for our house. The bed is a bit of a mismatch. It's got a birdie foreskew headboard, which is a bit of an investment, and some side tables to go with it. Creates a lovely luxurious look, and I've paired it with an IKEA bed and mattress. Really comfortable and really practical. So this is definitely our most eclectic bathroom. I'm sitting on a lovely pink enamel, probably 1950s bath here. Costs 99p on eBay. There are a huge number of people who don't want to have any coloured bathroom wear, but for me, I'm kind of bored of 35, 40 years of dead white bathrooms, and you'd be surprised how cheap these are. People are literally giving them away. So have a look for coloured vintage pastel bathware and so much will come up. The brass sheeting on the back is something that is really approachable. You can buy it online, it gets delivered in big sheets, and you can cut it to size yourself with tin snips and then frame it up with a bit of wood, and it is a really durable solution. You can polish it if you like, or you can just let it weather and splash and look like this. I've got a really light touch on the window treatment here. It is a tension pole that you can buy from Dunelm, and it's got little curtain clips on it, and I've got a napkin on here. But beautiful tablecloths work really well. They diffuse the light and they add privacy, but they let the sunshine in as well. This room is wallpapered from floor to ceiling, and it is a real process choosing paper for a room, and I think the size and the shape of the room really dictates it. So when I start planning, I keep pictures from magazines, I take pictures of things on my phone, and I create digital and physical mood boards that I can bring into the room and test papers. And this room just doesn't want to be floral. I've selected a William Morris print, and it sort of suits the vernacular here. But I haven't done the recesses and the returns for the windows because I want extra light to come in. As it's a small room and we're up in the eaves here, you want to bounce as much natural light in as possible. I have also added a walk-in wardrobe in here. It's a small room, but cutting it in half still means I can get 2 beds in here, and I can have 3 children's worth of clothing all tucked away if friends want to come and stay, and it's still welcoming and like coming home when they visit. Wallpapering used to be a really difficult thing to do. It involved wallpapering tables and huge rolls of sticky wallpaper, but now so many of the papers are paste the wall, which means you can do it yourself. You literally paint the wall with ready-made wallpaper paste, and you offer up the wallpaper, and you have a few moments where you can move it around and find out exactly where it's supposed to be. We are really lucky to live in the middle of the South Downs National Park, and we've got access to the South Downs Way and nearly 6,000 acres of beautiful West Dean woodland. It's a great place to live, and thank you so much for letting me show you around it today. And if you'd like to see more, don't forget to subscribe to the Times Life and Style YouTube channel.